Hello, and welcome to this brief tutorial describing how to use the Ram's Head Orchid Plant Measurement Transcription Checker app. In this tutorial, we will briefly review why you need this app, followed by instructions on how to use the app, and conclude with a description of requirements for running the app. Every June, our Trusty Ridges Sanctuary staff and volunteers trek across the ridges to perform measurements on hundreds of tiny ram's head orchids. They record the measurements on data sheets, which are then transcribed to Excel files for further analysis. Measurement, recording, and transcription are tedious and error-prone processes, and occasionally errors creep into the data. This looks like it was a pretty bad day. Anyway, the purpose of the Ram's Head Orchid Plant Measurement Transcription Checker is to aid in finding and correcting errors in transcribed Excel data files. Note that you do need to be able to run Excel macros to use the app. Now let's see how the app works. On the app control sheet, enter the minimum and maximum limits on the 4 Ram's Head Orchid plant measurements. These can be any values that seem reasonable to you. Note that if you save the app after using it, these minimum and maximum values stay with the app the next time you run the app. Next, enter the path and the file name of the data you want to check. Then, enter the output path and file name for the checked transcription that you will be saving. Note that the yellow cells on the control sheet are the cells where you enter information. It is suggested that you put the input and output files in different folders, so that if some problem occurs when running the app, you won't have corrupted the original transcription. Now you can go ahead and check the input file. This takes you to the dataset sheet, where you see the data values that exceed the limits that you set on the control sheet. Some of the errors are obvious, but at this point you may need to go back to the original data sheets to figure out what the correct values should be. What you do now is correct the suspicious values right on the app's dataset sheet. As a side note, you can actually edit anything on the transcribed data sheet, not just the measurement values. Now go back to the control sheet and click Save Corrections. Running the app is as simple as that. So let's finish up by reviewing some details. To run the app, you must provide both a valid input and output path. You must provide a valid input file name and an output file name. But if you provide no output file name, then the app defaults the output file name to the same name as the input file name. If you don't include a slash at the end of a file path, the app puts one on for you. Both the input and output file types must be Excel files, but if you don't include the file type, the app attaches one for you. Finally, you must check the measurements before saving any corrections, and the app makes sure that you want to overwrite an existing output file. Also, the app insists that you close an open output file before saving your corrections. So that's it. You should be all set to use the Ram's Head Orchid Plant Measurement Transcription Checker app. Thanks for watching.